1 Peter chapter 1, verse 5 says that we are kept, which some translations will say guarded or shielded. I like kept. We are kept by the power of God through faith. The verb in that verse is a military word, and it describes a city that is either being protected from an invasion or it is being held in under siege from being able to escape. So we need to learn how to picture our lives as in the cupped hands of God, where nothing comes in unless God invites it, and nothing escapes unless God removes it. We don't just belong to God, we are in His hands. And again, it's not in His open hands where you may fall off if you go a little too far. It is in the cupped hands of God where He is not just holding us, He is keeping us. We are kept by the power of God through faith. But here's the difficulty for us. That means that Israel was kept by the power of God. They were in God's hands when they endured 430 years of slavery. It means that they were in God's hands when Pharaoh's heart was hardened and the Egyptian army chased them toward the Red Sea. They were in God's hands when they ran out of food, when they ran out of water, when the Amalekites attacked them, and when the Edomites wouldn't allow them to pass through their country. They were in God's hands not only when the miracles happened, but in the times of tension that required miracles to happen. They were in God's hands during every step of their journey, but that journey was not to get them to the promised land. It was to teach them to rest in God's love. But resting comes through testing. Hebrews chapter 3 tells us that generation didn't enter God's rest because of unbelief and disobedience. Then chapter 4 says, "For we who have believed enter that rest." The action of belief is resting in God's love. Right? We've talked about this for a couple of weeks now. The action of resting is trusting God's character. The action of resting is obeying God's word. If belief is measured by rest, I'll ask us to begin tonight, how well are we believing? If our faith in God is measured by our rest in heart, how strong is our faith tonight? And again, remember, this first rest is the rest of consolation, right? It's the rest of casting our cares upon God, the rest of believing that when it feels like the sky is falling, I know that I'm under the shadow of His wings. That rest that comes that when the water is rising, I know that He is my strong tower. That when everything is turned against me, I know that God is with me and that He is for me. That when my life feels like it's falling apart, I am sure that Jesus is holding me together.